everybody, it's me again. It's Carolyn Cow. I'm here to talk today about manipulation, control, and lies. Um, I created this channel because I've written a book that I was promoting, Caterpillars to Butterflies by Carolyn Cow. And it's simply faith-based, and it's meant to encourage and uplift you to your calling and enlighten you in the word, as well as direct you to Christ. So today I want to talk about manipulation, control, and lies as it pertains to we as Christians and the Bible and just people in general. I have definitions as usual. The first one is manipulation, the action of influencing or controlling someone or something to your advantage, often without anyone knowing it. Control, the power to influence or direct people's behavior or the course of events. A liar, someone who deliberately says things which are not true. A lie, an assertion that is believed to be false, typically used with the purpose of, let me put my glasses on. You know I can't see, right? Okay, lie, an assertion that is believed to be false, typically used with the purpose of deceiving someone. Influence, the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. Deceit, the act of practicing or deceiving someone by concealing or misrepresenting the truth. Stronghold, a place where a particular cause or belief is strongly defended or upheld. Diversion, an action or event that attracts your attention away from what you are doing or concentrating on. Will, personal freedom to choose. Denial, a refusal or unwillingness to accept something or to accept reality. Vulnerable, able to be easily physically, emotionally, or mentally hurt, influenced, or attacked. Secret, something that is kept or meant to be kept unknown or unseen by others. Now, the reason I want to talk about manipulation, control, and lies, because I see a lot of people who operate in manipulation and control. First of all, God doesn't even control people. He gives you a free will to choose. He gives you the truth. He gives you the consequence for your choice, and he lets it fall how it falls. A lot of people, because of insecurities or whatever, tend to try to manipulate or distort the truth, and we know those characteristics are the same characteristics of Satan in the garden. Satan was disguised as a serpent, right? We know what went down with Adam and Eve. He distorts the truth, so that God's will would not be done. And there are characteristics of God, and there are characteristics of Satan. Satan is crafty. Satan is smart. Satan is cunning. He's deceitful. He's a manipulator. That is not of God. There's a difference in being an influence and being a manipulator. First of all, as an influence, and God created that woman as a helpmate. She is to be a good thing. She is that good thing that he finds as a wife. That's if she is God's God-fearing woman. She only wants what's right and what's good for that husband. So um, you have a lot of, not just women, men as well, but I'm talking about women right now, who choose to use, I always say you can use your powers for good or for evil. Okay, as women, being feminine, something that is beautiful, that is to be adored or whatever, a lot of women use that to manipulate and get their way. And men that I found out by talking to men, having friends, co-workers who you talk to about relationships, marriage, or whatever, they are oblivious to women and how they think. I don't care how many women they've been with, slept with, married, they are oblivious to women. Not every woman, but we're talking about women who are not God-fearing. If you're God-fearing, you're not going to be out here trying to take advantage of someone, trying to manipulate them, get their money. All you looking at is dollar signs. They just wave a couple of dollars and you running over there. And it's just like a snake. And I wrote a poem in my other book. I have 3 books I've written. One I published. The next one, it'll be coming soon. But I have a poem in there talking about snakes and the characteristics of snakes and snake people and how they move. They are cunning, crafty, mostly quiet, not always the loud one. Most of the time they're deceitful. What does deceit look like? A wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, so it's disguised, it's masquerade. And a lot of these women I've watched, and I always say on my job, because that's where I spend the majority of my time on the job, I'm a homebody, so I don't do a lot of going out. I don't club, I don't party, I don't do all that. But I've seen a lot of women, more than one, be very cunning in their movement. And if you have the spirit of discernment, you can discern spirits on people. You can see it all over them. Most of the time they have facial expressions. When they walk away or when they say something, I can see it, and I see a lot of it, and I have schooled a lot of men on those type of women. Every woman is not that way. Like I said, you have something in you that is powerful, but it's meant for good. It's meant to edify, it's meant to encourage, it's meant to uplift, it's meant to be truthful, it's meant to help someone get to the better part of themselves, or draw them closer to Christ. That's what it's meant for. It's not meant for selfish ambition. It's not meant to take advantage of them, to get their money, or to have them walk around like a puppet. And a lot of people, men and women, I'm talking about women right now, but I'm going to flip to the men in a minute. That's not cool. If I have to manipulate you, I don't want you. If you don't want me because you want me, you see something in me deeper than a surface that you want to get to know, or God has led you to, I don't have to manipulate you. Now, I am a person, as a friend, as just a person, I'm very straightforward, I'm very honest, and I want the best for people. Anybody, I don't care who it is, men, women, boys, girls, I want the best for people. That's my heart. And sometimes that can be misconstrued, and people think you want to try to dictate to them. That's not it. But if I'm your friend and I see you in turmoil or in a situation and you come to me, I'm going to give you honest truth. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'll do it in love. If you know me, you know I love you. I don't mean harm. But sometimes the truth just hurt. I don't care how you serve it. It's just going to hurt because it's hurtful to hear. But I would rather have a friend that would be honest and I know they're looking out for my well-being than someone that's going to lie and tickle my ears to make me feel good, but it's not helping me. My friend needs to help me to grow. Help me, first of all, to get closer to God. You know, and it's their choice. You can't force anybody to do anything, just like nobody can force you to do anything, you know. It's a growing process, but your heart should be far from manipulating, lying, and controlling. That is not of God. That is of Satan. That's Satan characteristics. Point blank and period. Whether you're saved or you're not saved. Whether you're in church or you're not in church. Men, if a man has to control you by lying, manipulating you, controlling you, putting his hands on you, verbally assaulting you, you don't need that. First of all, a God-fearing man, I know, is not going to take that approach, knowing what the word says. He's not going to take advantage of that woman because she's the weaker vessel. He's going to honor God's word and line up so that the right woman will not mind following his example because she sees God in him. Not because you're throwing out scriptures. You're throwing out scriptures here, and then you telling me I'm all kinds of whatever and whatever when we get to the house, or you ready to slap me and scare me to death, because it doesn't take much for a man. A man is a man, a woman is a woman. You raise your voice as a man, it's intimidating to a woman. So if you got to raise your voice and step up to me like I'm a dude, you need to check yourself. That is not God. I don't care how you slice that. Sure, the word says, be angry, but sin not. Sure, you have an emotion, but you need to be self-controlled. We all do. I have a temper, but I don't go out and fight everybody that wrongs me. Most of the time, I stay far away from them. Sure, I vent. I vent and let it go when I'm done. We need God to help us in all things. We need him to help us with ourselves. You know, we want to be spirit-led, not led by our flesh. But you also need to be whole and know who you are. Don't look for another person to show you who you are. God shows you who you are. And through him, we were created. By him, we were created in his image. And so, with that being said, when someone is trying to help you, now you have some people who, like I said, are manipulators, who instead of trying to help you, first of all, you need to go to God first of all. But he will give you some sound counsel and put other people in your life. Everybody you don't vent to, everybody you don't tell your business to. You can't go home and ask your wife a question and then go to work and ask 10 more women the same question and get their opinion. How many opinions do you need? You really don't need one, and it's God. But if you put your wife there, or your potential wife there, and you know what kind of woman she is, her integrity, her character, then you listen, line up with the word, read your word. It all goes back to God. God uses people, true enough, but it's the word, it's your relationship with Jesus Christ, okay? That's where you go. That's who you depend on. That's the final word. And also, there are people who are being deceived and believing because of their flesh that God has told them things that he has not. You need to check yourself, because if it was, this is a continual pattern where you do this all of the time with people consistently. This is a pattern in your life. You do this, then you come to this one and you telling them this, or you trying to choose which one. That's flesh. That is not God. Okay? We all need to check ourselves. Pride cometh before a fall. But there are strongholds. There are things in us that a lot of times we haven't addressed, and we will always be in a process of progression. If you want to grow, if you want to do God's will, that's a constant thing, till you die. You're in a process. It's in a process of changing and growing. You first got to change your mentality. You got to line your mind up with the word and think of Christ, and until then, things won't change. It'll be the same thing. And no, it's not easy. You're going to go through a lot of changes in life, but you're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to be honest in order to grow and get to the next level. And true enough, God has anointed a whole lot of people. And the gifts that he is giving a lot of people, they're using it for Satan. So, okay. You need to line yourself up, make sure your heart is right, get your mind renewed. You don't look to someone else to find out who you are. You look to Christ. Someone can lead you to Christ. And there are some people who will do some good. It's like a pimp. Let's use a pimp for it. I use that for an example a lot of times. Okay. So you say, well, this person, be a female or a male, they've been good to me. They give me money, or they pay my bills. I don't play that. I pay my own bills. Or whatever. And it's got to be from God. No, pimps take the little girls off the street who don't know any better, that need some shelter and some food, and they give them some food and buy a couple of a pair of pants and a shirt, and then a couple days later they out on the street. So you need to get yourself together. Okay, so don't be deceived. There's a lot of that out there. And a lot of these women are going around acting so sweet. Anybody that you come in contact with and you've known for a period of time, and they don't ever have anything negative, they say nothing negative ever, they do nothing wrong ever, everything you say is golden all the time, there's something wrong with that. Because ain't none of us that perfect. I'm not even going to pretend I'm that perfect, because I'm not. But my heart is pure. I want to do what God wants. Have I fallen? Absolutely I have fallen. And I've repented and dusted myself off and gotten back up. And my heart is never far from God, because I never lose sight. Even though your flesh is weak, my heart, my mind, it stayed on him. It's not nobody ever is going to pull me away from what my purpose is and who God is, because I know who he is. He's my Father. He's the one that builds me up. He's the one who wipes my tears at night when I'm crying, not a physical person. He's the one that encourages me and gives me hope to press on. So you need to have your relationship, mainly, it supersedes any other relationship. And from their relationship, your other relationships will develop, and they will grow, and they will prosper, if that is the foundation. So don't get it twisted because somebody helps you sometime that they have good intentions. Pimps help little girls all the time, and then they pimp them out. So just be wise in your doing. Be wise. Know that God is your provider. And we need to get to the point. A lot of times we fall short. All of us fall short because of a lack of faith in certain areas. Because of their lack of faith, the devil knows that, and he distorts, and he does what he does, and it gets you off in those particular areas. And sometimes it's been there for so long, you've been in denial for so long, you haven't uprooted it till you can't. Only God can pull that thing up. But it's up to you if you want it. If you want to be made whole, if you want to do better. You shouldn't be out here looking for self all the time. It's all about you and what you can get out of somebody. If that's your mentality, you got the wrong mentality. But anyway, I just wanted to touch bases on there because I see a lot of manipulation, a lot of lying. And this ain't just the unbelievers, it's folks in the church. Okay, don't get it twisted. There's a lot of that goes on. Like I said, we all need God's help. We need to be repentant. We need to be set free. It's a process. It's a process, but you have to want it. You got to open your mouth and tell God you need some help, and be willing to be helped and be humble enough to seek that help. And as Christians, we're supposed to love, and I love you regardless. But I'm going to tell you, I don't want to see you bound. I hope you don't want to see me bound. I would hope you want to love me and help me. Not for your gain, but because you want to see me free. So be careful about who you trust, who you tell things to, um, because people will deceive you and play a role just to get in your good graces. Okay, because if it ain't God based, you need to be careful and check that. But that's all I have for today. I don't want to talk long. I just want to touch base on that. And like I always say, everything I say, I want to encourage you. I want to uplift you. I want to direct you to your word. I want to direct you to having a closer relationship with God, because we all should want to be free. We want to be healed. We want to be happy. And only joy comes from the Lord. In spite of all that you can go through, you still have joy in the Lord. And He is your hope and your salvation. And that's all I have for today. Until next time.